Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I hope you're enjoying your fantastic Sunday. Today will be a video where of course we will have to speak about a big name. Big Rom, Romelu Lukaku to Juventus. Because according to Corriere dello Sport, it's already a done deal. So half of the video will speak about Romelu Lukaku, what is right, what is wrong, who are the papers that are convinced that he will come, and the papers are saying, what are you speaking about? But there are even some papers that color that are contradicting themselves, because some journalists are saying no and some journalists from the same paper are saying absolutely yes. So we'll give you all the truth about Romelu Lukaku, that 4 years after the first really tentative or attempt of Juve to sign him, and they were that close, could be a reality. Then we'll speak about big updates, because Leonardo Bonucci, I told you, as always, that we are not sure yet at the moment that he could be the captain of Juventus 23-24. What are the latest news about Bonucci and what could be his potential replacement? We will go through Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, that every single day is on the Italian paper. Never he has been as close as Juventus as today, as close to were Bianconeri as today. And there is even a bomb news in the middle of the video speaking about Sergej. Zakaria and Arthur will make a point because there are new teams interested in the Brazilian midfielder. And we will finish with Fabiano Parisi, that a lot of you, especially the ones that really believe in a Juventus made of 25 Italian players, where is Parisi? Did he already sign with Lazio? Did he already sign with Fiorentina? At the moment, no. But we will give you an update why he didn't sign with any of these teams. So ragazzi, as always, maximum of like. Thank you for the likes that you are putting every single day on the video. I'm sure and convinced that we can even raise the bar, trying to reach a minimum objective of 600 likes per video. The 500th is already in the bank. Can we do 600? Depending on you. On Sunday, it's a challenge, because I don't know if you are always watching on Sunday the video. During the week, you watch. Is it also a possibility that you tell me which is your favorite day of watching the video? I'm curious to read all the comments. Continue to subscribe to the channel if you didn't yet. We open today's video not yet with Big Rom, but with another big man, a huge man, a legend, a guy that will be here forever and is always here in my wall to protect the Juventus wall behind me, like Shirea, for example, is another man. Well, Gianluca Vialli, today would have been his birthday. He passed away. We know how. Well, Gianluca Vialli will never be forgotten, and it's someone that I will always remember, that there was his birthday, that this is the day that he passed away, that this guy did this, that he was the last at the moment captain that lived the Champions League with Juventus. Gianluca Vialli, what a player, but even on top of that, what a man. Ragazzi, now we go with the news. We go with Corriere dello Sport, because if we are listening to Corriere dello Sport, boom boom, Vlahovic per Lukaku. Dusan's value is Big Rom plus 25 million euro. Attenzione, Chelsea giving Romelu Lukaku to Juve plus 25 million euro, and instead we are giving the Serbian player. According to them, there is an obstacle still, because there is Al Hilal, the Saudi Arabia club that is on the player. That's the only obstacle, because according to Corriere dello Sport, Allegri already said yes. Then they are even pushing the narrative further, because they are announcing that Lukaku already said yes to Juventus. 3 years, 8 million a year for the Belgian player ex-Anderlecht. Can you imagine Romelu Lukaku wearing that shirt, the new 23-24 home shirt of Juventus? Can you imagine Romelu Lukaku wearing the anthem jacket of Adidas for Juventus? Fantastic design, made by Colo 99. Let's see, and hopefully it will remain a design and not a reality. Can you imagine? Let me know also in the comment if yes or no you are imagining Romelu Lukaku to Juventus. Ragazzi, it's the second time that Romelu Lukaku has been pushed so far to be linked to Juventus. The first time is in 2019, where on the 1st of August, not Big Rom Lukaku, but Big Rom Agresti tweeted that Juventus have reached personal terms with Romelu Lukaku for 9 million a year. Back then, and it's true, and I have made some calls back then in the time to confirm that news, and it's absolutely correct, Juventus was that close to sign Romelu Lukaku. They had an idea in mind to give to Sarri a Cristiano Ronaldo on the left, a Romelu Lukaku as the number 9, and a Federico Chiesa, that everything was already reached in agreement with the ex-ownership of Fiorentina, on the right side of the field. What happened? We all know it. Paulo Dybala refused to go to Manchester City. to Manchester United. Lukaku went to Inter, and Federico Chiesa, because of the new ownership of Commisso, had to wait one more year to reach and to come to Juve. At the end, we won the Scudetto that year, but it was also a year with a lot of controversy, year of COVID, Sarri, and so on and so on. We all know the past. What we don't know yet is the future. Because if Corriere dello Sport is 100% sure and convinced that Romelu Lukaku will join Juventus, agreement with Juventus on the salary and the length of contract. He already said yes. Allegri is a big fan of Lukaku. Everything is done. Vlahovic will go to Chelsea. Chelsea already found the formula. They give a 25 million plus Lukaku. Well, Gazzetta dello Sport is going towards another direction. Well, not all of them, because that's what's really bothering me, or give me like, what are they talking about? Because if Gazzetta dello Sport is saying Lukaku, tutto per l'Inter, Lukaku, everything for Inter, and what are they speaking about? That Lukaku would even be ready to decrease his salary to remain at Inter, that Inter really wants to have the player. On the other side, you have Fabiana Della Valle, that made a YouTube video on her own channel. Fabiana Della Valle, we know it. She's working for Gazzetta dello Sport. Her favorite color is pink, and we know it. It's not a mystery. Well, two person, Marco Guidi, in his article is saying there are some alternatives if Vlahovic would be sold, and he will give you the names in a second. Lukaku is not even a B plan, not even a C plan, but you can go really far in the alphabet plan. But there are not really a lot of probabilities. Then they are saying that he wants to go lower with his salary to remain at Inter. And then you have Fabiana Della Valle that said yes. Allegri requested specifically Romelu Lukaku. He wants to go for him. Juventus wants to go for him. Giuntoli is already starting to negotiate to have him. They already spoke with Chelsea and so on and so on. So two different stories in the same journals by two different journalists. So at least agree with yourself, because it's not normal that I have to open the papers and sharing the news with you guys. Corriere dello Sport, everything is already done. Gazzetta, yes, some journalists are saying yes, some journalists are saying no. Now, what is true, what is wrong? And then we close about Romelu Lukaku. The fact that Romelu Lukaku would be functional to Massimiliano Allegri is a fact. This is the type of players that Allegri loves. Big, physical, can play with the back towards the goal, can protect that ball, can have even two players on him, and he can be really stable on his feet without moving. He's there and he's not complaining, going hard. It's a player that Allegri is looking for. Absolutely yes. Now, that Allegri loves that kind of player is one thing. That Allegri requested Lukaku specifically, absolutely not. Ragazzi, basta. I don't even believe that Juventus could change Dusan Vlahovic, that is 23, for a player, the Belgian player, that is now 30, because we know it, he has been born in 1993, already celebrated 30 years old. The salary, you even increase the salary, because if Dusan is the second best player paid by Juventus after Paul Pogba with 7.5 euro net, here you are even increasing to 8 million euro. It makes totally no sense. It makes totally no sense to let a potential great, fantastic player, and we already saw it at Fiorentina, and even some movements at Juventus that are telling, yes, this is the guy, this is really the guy of the next 15 years, that you are changing him from Romelu Lukaku. It makes totally no sense. According to me, what is happening is that Inter really wants them, but I told you so many times they have problem, because it's the club in Italy that have the most depth ever. They want the player, but they can't sign him. After selling him for a record fee to Chelsea, after taking him on loan, they really want to have him again on loan, where Chelsea is saying, no, basta loan. Pay us, show us the money for one time. We don't want to keep Lukaku forever in the Blues. We now want to let him for free. So or you pay or you don't have him. And I believe it's Chelsea that in a way is putting these kind of voices to accelerate or put some pressure on Inter to go on the player. On the other side, we also have to say that when Chelsea already spoke for the interest for Dusan Vlahovic, and I already made a video of it. Do you remember that podcast video with Ma, where we were speaking about a lot of players offered by Chelsea for Dusan Vlahovic? We were speaking about Pulisic, and at the end he went to Milan. We were speaking about Loftus-Cheek, and he went to Milan, and we spoke also about Chalobah, that at the moment didn't go to Milan, but you never know. Anyway, I'm sure that in these talks Chelsea, they want to sell as much as possible, offer as much as possible players that are not in our project. So that Chelsea offered Lukaku to Juventus, I have absolutely no doubt about that. Of course, they did. Now that Juventus said yes or even thought about it, it makes totally no sense. So let's follow the news, but for the moment, I believe that you can continue to enjoy your Sunday. I don't believe that Lukaku will come here. Now we are there, because if it's not Lukaku, and if Dusan Vlahovic that tomorrow will be at La Continassa, and probably will meet and see Giuntoli, if really he had to leave, who are the B plans? Well, we already spoke about Højlund, that I told you I don't believe in Højlund. First of all, for the price. Secondly, for the competition on the player. Thirdly, because I'm not sure that he's the player that can play really well in Allegri's system. It would be a Vlahovic 2.0, just to tell you. There are another name that I believe much more in terms of characteristics is Jonathan David, that more and more we are speaking about. There is a real interest, but at the moment it's really expensive. On the player there is also Napoli. Pay attention, if they sell Osimhen, they would be on Jonathan David. So Juventus, if they finalize the deal of Vlahovic going out, which is not sure, but if they do, they really have to rush to have the Canadian player. Other players are Retegui, that we already spoke about. With what is annoying me, there are two clubs on him apparently, according to Gazzetta. It's Juventus and Genoa. What are we talking about? How can we put ourselves on the same level as Genoa? If you tell me there is another club like, I don't know, Bayern Munich on the player, Milan on the player, why not? But Genoa and Juve, not sure. And then there is a new name, Moroccan player from Sevilla, 26 years old, El Nesiri, that we all saw at the World Cup. That could be, you know, that idea. The name that is going out of nowhere, that is really brought and thought about from Cristiano Giuntoli. Am I totally 100% convinced from El Nesiri? No, at the moment, no. I need to investigate a bit more. But El Nesiri is that name that is making like that. This was for the strikers. Then, of course, before going to Leonardo Bonucci, today it made me laugh because yesterday I made a video from Cristiano to Cristiano. Today, Gazzetta dello Sport with an article, Ronaldo. 5 years ago, Cristiano Ronaldo CR7 arrived to Juve, and this was the start of the end of Agnelli, turning it with only negativity, while I try to give you a bit of hope with that Cristiano Giuntoli arriving instead of Cristiano Ronaldo when he was there. So anyway, I think that they are really subscribed to the channel and they steal a bit that idea. Anyway, Leonardo Bonucci, they are really now going into the possibility of Leonardo leaving Juventus. Why? Because we know of that offer, that possible interest from Newcastle. We already spoke about that, but today there was even Sampdoria, new team of Andrea Pirlo, that is on Bonucci. I don't believe that Leo Bonucci, that already refused 2 offers from Saudi Arabia, is the player that really wants to start again in second division. I really don't believe in that. But that there is a possibility that Leo is leaving Juve, I believe in it. I'm not convinced, but I believe that it can really be possible. We go to the midfield. I told you, update today about Mercato. Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, new contact. Some people are saying that on Monday or on Wednesday, there could even be another meeting, a new meeting, a concrete meeting with Lotito, that today in Gazzetta dello Sport made a double page speaking about Lazio and so on, which we don't care. But then he spoke about something. He said, what about Milinkovic-Savic? I would keep him, but not at all costs. That means if a player really wants to leave, I would let him free. There are some rumors, guys, that are saying that Milinkovic-Savic already said goodbye to his teammate. This is the bomba news that I told you in the beginning of the channel. I didn't forget that he already said goodbye to his teammates and that he has no intention even to go to the training camp of Lazio because he wants to go already in Torino, waiting for the call of Juve. Will it happen or not? I don't know. Then there is another voice that are saying Paul Pogba could be still thinking, or at least the entourage still thinking, that accepting the Saudi Arabia offer would be great for his career, because there are still doubts about his physical condition. Juventus, that asked him to enter 1 week earlier than the other ones, are monitoring day by day to understand what he can give. Well, Milinkovic-Savic with Pogba is a possibility, but Milinkovic-Savic without Pogba is another one. But I really believe now more and more that Sergej could really have serious chances to go to Juve now immediately, not even waiting 1 more year. We go to the other people, because we spoke about the midfield. We spoke about the defense, but I didn't tell you if Bonucci would leave, would he be his replacement. It's not a surprise, we already spoke about him, but it's Aymeric Laporte, that more and more is a name of Giuntoli. Laporte from Manchester City, between 20 and 30 million euro for Juventus, left foot center back, could be the player that can upgrade Juventus towards that four-man defense, with a Bremer or without Bremer, four-man defense with a Danilo or with a Gatti, with on the left side, maybe Fabiano Parisi. And then you tell me, but Beppe, Fabiano Parisi, he signed to Fiorentina, no? No. Because at the moment it's real that Lazio and Fiorentina went on the player, but at the moment he's saying no. For a simple reason, he doesn't want to go. He wants to wait for Juventus. That's the only objective that he has in mind at the moment. He wants to go to Juve. He wants to wait. Of course, not eternally. And now Juventus, apparently they want to plan another meeting with Empoli, increasing to 30 million euro without bonus. You know, we were speaking about 12 plus 2. Now they want to go to a 13 million euro without bonus. Can Fabiano Parisi be a Juve player? Well, he's a Juventino. He wants to go there, but of course, we have to think. We have to sell. We have to be fast. An Alexandro needs to find a solution for. And then you have two other players, Zakaria and Arthur. Zakaria, that in the next coming week, so from tomorrow on, can really be a West Ham player. And then on Arthur, that really wants to play in Premier League. There is a new team on him, even if Brighton is interested, but they are not fully confident. Well, there is Wolverhampton on the player. He wants to go to Premier League. On the other hand, you have Lazio. Why Lazio? Because we could put him in the deal for Milinkovic-Savic. Him there on loan with a part of his salary paid by Juventus could be an option. Not sure if it will work out. One thing that I am sure is that me, Beppe, GJustjuve would never give him Rovella. That we know it, Sarri, Lotito are pushing for. They want Rovella at all cost. And this is, according to me, something that we should not do. Absolutely not. There are some teams interested on the Italian midfielder. We should keep him. We should give him a chance that I believe he was already last year ready for Juventus. Now with one more year experience, he can really be fundamental in Juventus' future. Rotational player, important player, absolutely yes. A starter maybe in the future, but it's not a player that I want to see in another team. Ragazzi, if we finish with Tuttosport page that we didn't even mention, they said Allegri l'ultimo jolly, the last chance for Agnelli. And what is the last chance? That we already had 2 really difficult years. We decided to continue with him. He received the trust from everyone, even with Giuntoli. Apparently they made a really first great contact, and tomorrow they will meet each other in person in La Continassa, but they already spoke to each other. Great contact. Jonel can give him his trust, but attenzione, because it's really written here. He has the trust from Juve, but he can't fill. Ragazzi, long video again with a big update on Sunday. I repeat you, don't forget to tell me which is your favorite day to watch Juventus channel, here, GJustjuve channel. Let me know, I'm curious. Grazie, forza, Juve.